Today's episode is brought to you by Bill, a leading financial operations platform for small and mid-sized businesses. I'm also hosting a free webinar with them called 4 Strategies for Financial Resilience in an Uncertain Economy. It's on June 24, 2025 at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. The link to register is in the show notes. Welcome back to the Diary of a CFO podcast, the podcast where finance leaders share the lessons, challenges, and wins that shape their careers as well as their organization. I'm your host, Wasia Kaman, and today I'm so delighted to have with me Syed Nadeem. Syed is a strategic finance leader with over 20 years of global experience in different industries. His contributions to the corporate finance space are tremendous. He was recognized as a top LinkedIn influencer worldwide. He is the member of a FP&A advisory council at the AFP, short for Association for Finance Professional. He is the founder of FBP Today and the Money Mindset. He's also the host of the Career Connect podcast. Welcome to the show, Syed.
Thank you so much, Wasia, for having me in this show. I'm very excited to have a good discussion with you.
Thank you so much. I'll start with the common question of tell us about your journey. What is the story behind where you find yourself, all the hats you're wearing now, and what were unexpected twists along the way?
See, I'm not the special one as you are. So I started as a normal life before with a very junior role in my country in Pakistan as a cost assistant. And I was just graduated from a university in my city. When I came into finance, then I started to think that I need to progress in CMA education because in our country, normally we don't decide our profession during the education. We got the job first, then we decide the profession. So this is a typical mindset we have in our country. So the same happened with me. I find the job of finance and I took the interest and then I decided to go for CMA. So I started my CMA. I was not a good student before anywhere. So I got some promotion. There is some motivation is coming. So my manager told me that, Nadeem, why don't you start CMA? Because you are getting experience in the cost and budgeting. So why don't you capitalize your experiences through your education? So I decided to go into CMA and enroll there. And by the time I progressed my examination as well. And after 8 years of my life in that company, I left that company. The moment I qualified, Vasi, I got an opportunity from Saudi Arabia in 2013, I think, as a deputy financial controller. Then I came into the distribution company because overall I have 20 years of experience having multiple industry, manufacturing, freight forwarding, supply chain, pharmaceutical. Currently, I'm working in telecom in Saudi and since last 2 years as director of budgeting. So it's a short journey. I have never born for finance, but things happen to me. And things happen to me because I'm moving toward finance experience. I took my education. And then I realized in 2021 during COVID time, when I lost my job, that the corporate life is something different. It can happen for any point of time again. So I decided to start my own journey with my academy, which is Finance Professional Academy, which FVP Today, as you talked earlier. So I decided to create my own academy where I started helping people through this academy. So I started working on LinkedIn. If you remember, we worked together earlier. So I started posting and everything. I brought people in my coaching session that was free at that time. So I was announced on LinkedIn that if you want somebody career advice, I'm available free of cost. 30 minutes, you can talk to me. So people started coming to me on these kind of advices and they gave me good testimonial and feedback. And that feedback again gone back to the LinkedIn and people again joined me through those kind of things. So I did this exercise 2-3 years and around more than 300 people joined my free coaching during those time from 15 countries. So then I decided to start monetization from this experience because I built a lot of stories when I met with the people. So Turkey, Singapore, US, India, Pakistan, Saudi, a lot of countries are joining me. And I started knowing that what are the problems in finance in those countries. So I started to move forward and I built my digital course of finance business partnering, which is currently available on my website. I learned how to build the course. Course content is not difficult for me, but how to create this, how to launch this, how to market this, how to sell this. It was a new journey as finance. So I had never learned these things in my CMA education, in my corporate life, but this was a new thing that excited me. That why don't we go for it? And what will happen maximum? Nothing will happen. I will fail. But there is a lot of learning behind creating the course. So I purchased the camera, I purchased the mic, good lights, I made the studio. So I learned many things about creating the course. Then I launched it. So that was good result on this course and people are learning from it. So its journey is going on. I am offering many courses. So the vision is very clear now to help people and from any mode we have wherever they are sitting, I can join with them online.
This is amazing. And I like how you turned some like adversity into something that is now a catalyst for you and for many other people. Can you just pause and on the business partnering side, so up to your time where you were in Saudi and before the unfortunate layoff or fortunate layoff, I should say, because now we have you and help many professionals. What are the things that you learned about business partnering when it comes to dealing with different departments? Because sometimes we think about business partnering can be broad, but I learned that it's different depending on if you're working with sales or if you're in different industries. What are some of the things that you learned on your own? And also, I would love to hear more about what you learned about FP&A in other countries.
See, I will not jump into business directly. I learned some basic things with my personal life. If I give you one example, that you are going on highway, you're driving with 140 speed, and your family is sitting with you. And sometimes you realize they sleep well when you are driving on 140 speed. And they don't sleep in the car because you are a good driver. They sleep well in the car at the speed of 140 because they trust you, right?
Yes.
So that kind of mentality, I realized that, and this is applicable to everyone, whether you have clients, you have audience, you have your colleagues. This is the mentality you have to build, that people should trust you blindly. And that is not easy. Trust is not something that you can tell someone, please trust me. It doesn't work like this. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to build a lot of things in your life, a lot of credibility. You should be willing to help. You should have a good relationship. So it's not about your finance skills, because whatever you learn in your CMA or ACC or CIMA, it will not make you finance business partner. It can make you a good accountant, it can make you a good director of finance, it can make you a good financial controller. But it comes to the relationship management, trust building, presentation, communication, you have to take your own, because you have two skills. These skills you are taught in your systems, which is coming from your universities, and you are paying for it. And there is no single book, Vasya, that you can read and you will become a good communicator. There are a lot of books. You can read this book, you can become good accountant, but there is no single book that will help you to become good communicator, good relationship manager. So it will not help you. So there is something inside you and there is something outside you. So accounting skills you are learning from outside forces. There are some skills which you also heard that Simon Sinek called as human skills. So you have to learn human skills. It's not soft skills. Soft skills is something that you relate with the courses. So these are human skills that you have to recreate in yourself with the practices. So if you can practice these things, partnering will come into this picture. And
Okay.
if you can relate business, the same skills you have to apply in the business with finance knowledge, that will become finance business partner.
And how did you come to that realization? Because I think we all at some point had that journey of when you start your career, you're big on certification, you're big on education. And then at some point you realize that you need to develop those human skills. What was that like for you when you realized that, I need more than the CMA? I need to build those XYZ. Was it a specific event? Was it a mentor? Like what led you to that aha moment?
The moment came first time when I was very interested to present something to management in the management meeting. And my manager was not giving me this opportunity because I was very junior at that point of time. So they were not taking any kind of risk in the
Mm,
live environment. But that was not happening. So what I did was, here I started free training in my company. So what I did, because I wanted to learn, company sent me in multiple courses, a communication, presentation, but nothing was working. We are going for the whole day, and that training was not actually training, that was escape from office. So you are having some refreshments, some kind of lunch and enjoy, then come back to office with the same mindset. So you are not learning. So you have to come jump into the pool. If you are learning swimming, I created the opportunity for me, and I talked to my some of my colleagues, 4 to 5 people, and I told them that I want to teach you Excel. I was good in Excel at that time. So I gathered them 30 minutes. I made some presentation and trained them on some formulas and Excel.
mm-hmm.
So that 30 minutes, then I give them that I am teaching you and you have to give me feedback. They gave me that feedback and that was very good. So I applied this feedback, and I arranged another training
Nice.
with 10 people. I invited some of my more friends. All is free. I'm not charging anything. They came to the room and they learned something. And third training, I invited 4 people. In fourth training, I went to my HR that I have this proposal. If you want, I can start training of Excel to the whole company. It's very essential for the company. So they decided to arrange this kind of things. And then I realized that that fourth training or five training changed my complete perspective about soft skills and human skills. So what I was giving training, I was not learning only communication. I was learning communication. I was learning presentation, team building. I was learning listening practice, how to listen people. I was learning time management. I was learning leadership skills, and people are building trust on me. And I was creating my personal brand on my company because I was known for Excel expert. Many things automatically triggered when I just these started trainings. And that was a game changer. And people were realizing that he can speak good, invite him in the meeting.
Nice, nice. I love it. I love how you created that opportunity. Amazing. And then at some point you mentioned what you learned from FP&A in other countries. Because I remember when we worked together on some of our LinkedIn collaborations, how we talked about soft skill. And when we started talking, we realized that it felt like we were working in the same country because we were going through the same pain when it came to business partnering, how there is a gap between our technical skills and where we really want to be. So what have you learned from working with people in other countries as well?
See, every country has different problems and different opportunities. But the goal is same. If they are started their career journey, the end goal is to become a CFO. This is the mindset they have. But many people started with this concept that they will become CFO, but after a few years, they forgot their dream because they stuck in their different kind of life. They are stuck into the function of finance. They are stuck into their different problems. Maybe if they have health problem, they have finance problem, but they don't realize that any problems coming into achieving your goal all are temporary. I picked many people. Even there are many CFOs are coming to my forum, and I remember the one guy came to me that Sayed, my company is going into the IPO, and they are asking me to become CFO. Please help me. I'm not CFO. I'm a financial controller, but because of restructuring, they are proposing me to become CFO. These kind of calls are coming on that side, and people are coming from different. So I tell them, you are good in accounting. You don't need to focus on many things because when I learned that people are investing a lot of money and time on technical skills, they finish CMA, then they switch to ACCA, then finish ACCA, then they switch to CIMA. I said, stop. This is not your life. You are jumping into 1+1. You are investing 100% amount and you are getting 10% value because you already have done CMA. You cannot get more value, 100% value from this new ACCA. So I advise them, please invest your time and money to learning different things. You have to create your personal brand. People should know you. You should be known for something. You cannot be expert for everything. Finance has a lot of dynamics,
Yes.
payable, receivable, FP&A, tax, IFRS. You have to choose something and you have to be expert on something. CFO is not about accounting and IFRS. CFO is a personality and mindset. And that mindset you have to invest in your time. You have to follow people. You have to understand, take inspiration. At least once in a week or 15 days, you have to arrange a complimentary call from some people. They are active on LinkedIn and try to learn their journey. You will get a lot of inspiration. Sometimes you don't learn from your surroundings. Sometimes you are not living with the right people. But this is not your fault. This is part of your job. But if you asked me 15 years ago, that was so difficult to leave your comfort zone and find out new people. But today, because of social media and LinkedIn, you can reach to anyone in the world. And we reached it. I started my journey. You remember we had a call. I called with different kind of influencers on LinkedIn, like Ender, Sufyan, Asif. They all are our friend now.
Yes.
And we learn from them. So I advise them, and everybody has their appointment calendar. It's very humble people that they are giving you time. So if you can join these people, learn their journey, how they are, you will find different stories. You will find different inspiration, and you need to apply it only. You are not reading books. I'm not asking you to go to university and take the admission. Just 30-minute call with any influencer on LinkedIn can change your life.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I agree. And one thing I love is how you said you're not necessarily surrounding yourself with the right people, right? Because as you're trying to grow, if the people that are around you are just like you're not being stretched. And social media is a beautiful thing because we're having this conversation on two different continents, which is beautiful. So
Yeah.
thanks for sharing that. I really appreciate that. And I wanted to go back to the certification piece because one of my first posts was about certification and it blew up. That's how I first went viral on LinkedIn, where I talked about the top 10 accounting certification, top 10 finance certification. Everybody was on certification because I feel like there is some type of comfort in knowing that I do one, two, three, I will get here. But then you get to a point and you realize that, okay, I need other skills. I need to meet more people. I need to stretch my thinking. So what do you think is the ideal balance? Is it that I do one certification and then I'm good because I have three because I was tired about going for more? Because I went through three credentials before I realized, okay, this is not getting me anywhere. But what would you say is the ideal balance? Because I know, for example, I'm originally from Ivory Coast, and back then you have to be a certified accountant if you want to do anything in finance. If you don't have it, it's very hard for you to break through. It's not necessarily the same here in the US. So what would you say you've seen in all your conversation is that how do you find that balance of, okay, I got this technical skills, I got this credentials. How do I move on from it? Let's take a quick break to thank Bill, who is sponsoring today's episode. They help businesses and accountants automate all the back office work that slows you down so you can focus on the strategic stuff. If that sounds like something your team needs, visit bill.com to learn more. Now back to the episode.
So certification, I normally call it, is the key only, right? The purpose of key is to open the door and hang the key behind the door. That's it. This is the only purpose of the key. The inside, you are home inside, the key is not working. Your doors are open, your kitchen is open, your bedroom is open. You can go to any point, any place in your home. The same applies to the corporate life. Every door is open once you are in the door, in the house. So only key you have to achieve just to get into the house. This is the only purpose certification. And if you have one certification, Vasia, this is enough for you. You don't need to have multiple keys to open the door. And that is master key. If you are a CMA, it can open multiple doors for you. It's a
Yes.
master key. So if I suggest you, you should not go for ACCA. The problem is where? The focus. Every company has two kind of task. One is low value task, one is high value task. What does it mean? Low value task means repetitive task. You are going for accounting entry, debit and credit, reconciliation, bank reconciliation. They are every month closing. These are repetitive tasks, which I call it low value task. If you are working 24 hours, you will not grow with 24 hours proportion. But there are some tasks in the same organization which are high value tasks, which is FP&A, working capital management, the feasibility studies, business cases, a meeting with the management, presentation to the board. These are high value tasks that can influence company decision. So if you are part of those kind of tasks, your growth will be much faster. And if you are working as an AP accountant, it's not something bad, but your focus should be different. If you're starting first 5 years in your life, your hiring criteria normally on technical skills when you are junior, because
Mm-hmm.
they want to assist you with accounting. But as you grow after 5 years, accounting knowledge will remain there, but your focus should go towards your soft skills. I can say your requirement of hiring a job is 80% technical skills, 20% soft skills. But as you move forward after 5 years, your focus should shift to soft skills to 50%, and 50% should remain with your technical skills. But after 10 years of your life, your focus of technical skills should remain only 20% and soft skills on 80% because you are moving to leadership roles. So if people are making mistake, they are not focusing on this kind of journey. They are focusing on 2080 only in the beginning 5 years, and they spend their whole life in this allocation of resources.
Wow.
That is a main problem in our finance community, and they are not focusing on the right areas. So if they start focusing on right areas, nobody can stop their growth, believe me. And they are smart people in the market. They are doing the same process. They are following the same process which I am giving you. I reveal the secret, I think.
Oh yeah, that's a great one. And it's one that I learned the hard way. And you probably learned the hard way too. Like nobody sat us down and said what you just said about you start your career, 80% will be technical skills, 20% will be soft skills. But you have
Yeah.
to be intentional about making that switch. Like you said, learning every week. What are you learning every month? who are you meeting with to actually get to the 20% technical skills and 80% soft skills, leadership skills, really. This is a great secret. Thank you so much for sharing. So, what else do you have for us that you can share about business partnering?
See, I can tell you in corporate life, every other person is your customer. Every other person, you have to treat us, every individual in your company as your customer. Whenever you meet with them, you have to sell something. Sell something means you can sell the idea. You can sell how they can grow their sales. You can sales, I can help you to grow by bringing some insight. Every person in your company is the customer, and you have to create value for your customer. This is the difference between employee mindset and the employer mindset. So when you work on employee mindset, your mindset is 9 to 5 job. You have to start your day and finish your day. This is the only target you have in your 8 hours job. And you are just waiting for the 5 o'clock so that you can go for Netflix, right?
Why did you have to say Netflix? You know I'm a Netflix fan.
Focus is everything, and your attitude is everything towards your journey where you want to reach. So treat everybody as your customer, and your mindset will completely transform.
Wow. I love how you said over and over mindset. And you're even a founder of Money Mindset Academy. And I'm going to ask you again, at which point did you realize the power of the mindset? Because sometimes I feel like because we are in numbers or spreadsheet, we feel like those concepts of personal branding or having a mindset are for maybe other functions, maybe sales, marketing, but we don't realize that they apply to all of us, really. Just because you're a human being, you need it. What was that shift? What was that aha moment for you when it came to that? And what can others learn from it?
Some difficulty teach you a lot. When I lost my job, I realized that this is not because of I'm bad in accounting. This is not because I'm bad in my technical skills. And I lost my job because maybe I have some weak relationship. Maybe I have some trust issues. Maybe I have some presentation issues. So I realized after that, because when it happens, Vasya, I could not sleep for first 3 nights, because when
Wow.
you lost your job, you see the entire next 5 years. You have rent, you have family, you have schooling, you have grocery, how you have to handle this kind of situation. And it happened with me, and that was a very tough situation. So this situation taught me a lot, and I don't recommend people start learning when they lost their job.
Yes.
They have to learn these things before they lost their jobs. That's why I started my academy. So that create different mindset, different lens. And I realized that if you want to become a CFO, you have to start wearing the lens of CFO before you become CFO. If you have income statement can be seen by different people by different purpose. Accountant can see income statement, maybe the purpose is to reconciliation sales and cost of sales. A financial controller is seeing the same report, maybe he can see some compliance issue, maybe he has to face the auditor. But CFO, when see the same income statement, he will see the health of the company, goal of the company, how they can reinvest the money into the business. So the moment you will realize that you have to start wearing CFO lens, this is the moment that you have the aim to become a CFO.
Mm, Okay, so let's dive deeper into what you just said about the layoff for you and how we change your mindset. So how long was it like between the time you lost it and the time you found a new role? And what were the shift? Like what how were you better in that next role? Because I'm sure that you didn't start doing maybe the same mistake or you didn't have the same approach between the two. So what was it like?
See, there are completely shift of mindset at that time, because if you are in corporate life and it can happen again. Your personal brand is so important. If you go to 10 years ago, if you didn't have email addresses, you were not existing. Today, if you don't have personal brand, you cannot survive for a long period. So I started leverage LinkedIn when I started my post, and I decided that I have to start something my own. I have to start helping people because everybody can face this problem. And I found a lot of opportunity, and people came to me and start learning my journey. So there are many people are facing in Middle East job loss issues. So I'm guiding them how to handle these issues. It's not something bad. And job loss is not bad. But the problem is how you have to handle the situation. If you're not handling well, you cannot take a new job, because so difficult for you if you're jobless to take a again job. So you have to take small steps. What I did, I started my different kind of jobs where I went down to 30% salary of my that salary that when I left. So I accepted this situation because I need to run my kitchen. I need to run everything. So people think that if I go for low salary, your profile will become low. It is a misunderstanding. Your personality, your brand, on the same side you are taking low salary, but on the other side you are building your brand. So they are two different things will run parallel. It's not happening that you are going to low salary and your profile will become low. You have to take another action to build your brand as well. So I was working on LinkedIn and I was taking my low salary. So I was not disclosing salary to everyone, but that happened. So there are two shifts. One is going to your salary again and brand yourself, and that brand will help you to reach again to your package.
Wow.
So that was the process was going on in the same day because I had plenty of time. So I did free coaching, I did free classes, I was writing on LinkedIn, I was posting many things. So I was just took the leverage of LinkedIn and my time as well. So it took me 1 year to came back to my original role, but that journey was very amazing.
Wow. Because I saw you speaking, I saw you doing so many amazing things. Love it because I got into personal branding after watching a personal branding course. It was right after COVID. And the course was called the Badass Workshop. It was by the former CMO of Netflix, Bozoma St. John. And she was saying that if the only person who know that you are great are in your company, what happens when you leave? Or when you're trying to do something more? If I Google you, what will I find about you?
Definitely.
And that for me was like, okay, I have to do something. For you, it was a layout, but for me, it was that course that was a wake up call of, okay, so anything can happen, like you said, but how are you ready to bounce back? How are you building yourself to bounce back?
Bad days, no, I normally says your life is like a ECG, right? No, hard ECG. So sometimes it's going up, sometimes down. So this is normal processes happening with everyone in this planet. Nobody is going only the success graph. Nobody is going only for failure graph. So this is like a life. And I learned from this ECG a lot. And it's a clear message that it can happen again. If you are on top, next is down. So don't be afraid of these kind of up and down. But only thing you have to understand when you are going down, how you have to behave, how you have to treat yourself, how you have to take a decisions. That will again translate your graph into the upward side. So you have to understand life. Believe me, you will understand your profession. Profession and life are going together. They are not separate.
Yes, because I don't believe in like work life balance on how you turn off work and you get life. It's a big salad.
Definitely. So your life will teach you a lot how to manage your corporate life. It's not separated. They are same. The only thing you are going for corporate life to make money just to serve your family and yourself. But as a human being, these are different skills you have to learn. I was sitting with the doctor. It's a very good discussion. Asked with them. I asked with my friend. He was a doctor. I asked him, tell me what is the skills behind successful doctor. You know what was the answer? Communication skills. I said, what? You are a doctor. You spent 5 years of your life to become a doctor. And you're saying your success is behind communication
Wow.
skills. He said, this is fact. We deal with the people with our communication. If I tell my patient you are okay, 50% disease gone out.
Wow.
And this is the beauty of communication. Every profession has the same issues.
Wow, that's amazing. I love it. I love it. Now, when we think about finance, and I wouldn't think that about a doctor, but makes total sense because they have to appease people. They have to get people through tough situation and communication, definitely, even though we only see them for 5 minutes and you wait for 2 hours to get to the office, but oh well. But for finance, what would you say are some of the shifts that we're seeing in the industry that maybe we're not paying enough attention to? Things that may be keeping people up at night?
See, if you want to grow in your career or if you want to take a leadership role, you don't need to sit in your office. You have to decide that within 8 hours, within 2 hours, you have to spend some time somewhere. And I realized that your lunch time is very important. We don't realize it. When you go to the lunch time, nobody wears their hat, whether they are CEOs, CFOs, they are a normal human being. And this is an opportunity to talk to them, Even car parking, in the lift, there are many occasions, many opportunities, many places where they are very informal. So if you want to show yourself as a leader, you have to find this opportunity and talk to them, introduce yourself, talk different topics, share your insight, what you learned. Maybe your CFO is not aware of you because you are sitting somewhere and he is so busy. Whenever you find an opportunity, just discuss with him that I want to sit with you for 5 minutes and learn from his journey and talk to him, so he will remember you. So try to be remembered. People should know you. I normally do one technique that I send one email at least and copy senior people so they can remember me when I will go into their inbox. So when you are in the inbox, people will remember your name. And when you will meet them, oh, you are Syed. Oh, I remember your email. So you have to link the things when you are working in 8 hours. It's not only your job description. You have to add the flavor in your 8 hours job because your relationship matters a lot. And you have to enjoy your 8 hours. You are spending more than your family with these people. So if you
Yes.
don't have a relationship, so you have to build this kind of family type environment where you want to grow yourself. And this is a message I want to give everyone here.
Thank you. Thank you. And yes, and the shift to remote work, definitely what you just said is a great advice because in remote work, like you said, people may not remember you, but if they're on the email, they will. And I love how you said try to be remembered and using your lunch break, especially for the few times maybe you go in the office or if you're still in the office 5 days a week, try to be remembered. That's great. Thank you for sharing that. Two more questions before you go. What is the best career advice you've ever received?
This is my personal advice. Learn to sell, how to sell yourself. You are a salesperson. Everybody on this planet, Vasia, is a salesperson. If you're finance, if you're a doctor, if you're an engineer, if you cannot sell your skills, you will never grow.
Wow, thank you. And then the last thing, what's your favorite thing to do outside of work? You know, mine is Netflix, but what is your favorite thing to do outside of everything else that's finance related?
See, that's finance related, right?
No, it's not finance related. Something else than numbers, business partnering. What is your favorite thing to do outside of all of this?
You can see this place where I'm sitting.
Uh-huh.
This is my favorite place where I coach people, I teach people. I spend after corporate life most of the time here
Okay.
because coaching is my passion. And I wish if I can change the world by sitting here.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing. I thought you would say something like cooking or bicycle. You're like coaching. Wow, you're
No,
so
no,
good.
no. That coaching, teaching, I don't need money. I am that kind of passion.
That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you so, so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Vasia, for having me. And I really enjoyed what we discussed today.
And that's it for today's episode of the Diary of a CFO podcast. Thank you for tuning in and thank you to Bill for sponsoring this episode. Don't forget to register for our upcoming webinars. And you can also find great webinars and resources on their website by visiting bill.com. That's BILL.com. I'll drop the link again in the show notes. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like, review, subscribe, and share with others. Our website is thediaryofacfo.com. That's where you can find all the episodes, access all the guest profiles, see their bios, and the social media links. It is also the place where you can apply to be a guest on the podcast and have information about how you can sponsor the show. As always, if there is any topic you would like me to cover in the future, just email me at ask@thediaryofacfo.com. Again, the email is ask@thediaryofacfo.com. See you soon.